We're at the outdoor trade show in Liverpool where we'll be looking at the latest climbing hardware. In 2027, DMM will be bringing out a new version of the Dragon Cam, the 3rd generation, alongside the Dragon Air, which will be available in January and July respectively. Within the Dragon 3, there's several key changes, and the first is a shift away from that 13.75 camming angle to a more variable camming angle. Now the benefit of this is that it gives it greater range. In practical terms, this just means it's easier to get a good placement as the cam goes down smaller and up larger. Another major benefit of the new Dragon Cam is that it's much lighter. The lobes have got much more metal stripped away as a result of efficiencies made in the way that they load. They also feature updated CNCing on the lobes themselves, Triple Grip Plus, that now has further grooves and indentations, meaning it is more likely to grab in the event of a fall, particularly on soft rock. The final update, perhaps, is the fact that it now has a thumb loop and a fixed sling. The Dragon Air is the lighter weight alternative. It features that same variable camming angle, so benefits from greater range, but it does so within a much lighter weight package. Features things like hollowed out axles and that same extendable sling as the 2nd generation Dragon, which also allows you to save weight through carrying less quick draws. Which one is suitable for you largely comes down to whether or not you prefer the extendable sling or the thumb loop. But irrespective of which one you prefer, the benefits of having that additional range and also that lighter weight are something that will be a benefit to absolutely everyone.
The Edelrid Pinch has been one of UKC's favourite bit of kit that's come out in recent times. Its key features were the fact that you could clip it directly to your harness without needing a carabiner. Plus, the handle had a panic system, so if you pulled it too hard, nothing would happen. It was a great bit of innovation from Edelrid. This new version of the Pinch that comes out in 2027 has identical features, but just with the addition of a new lock button. What this does is stop the opening button from working during use. This just provides a bit of added peace of mind. The Pinch 2 will remain in our top bits of kit.
For 2027, Tendon are bringing out these power cord slings. Now we've seen more and more of this kind of product hitting the market, and the reason being is that it is really good to work with, particularly under load. So if you're building a belay and you're tying a knot in, that knot isn't nuclear fused together and you're able to get it undone much easier. Now Tendon are using a polyester to make these, and it's quite a tight weave which helps keep the dirt out and means that these will last that bit longer. Now it's a good balance in between something that's soft enough so that you can get those knots undone, but also firm enough so that you can also use them to clip pegs that are just out of reach. Tendon will be selling these in a 60 and a 120 centimeter version. There's talk of doing a 35 centimeter Prusik version as well. Blue Eyes have been doing some really interesting stuff in recent years, and the Manta and the Manta Runner is a really good example of this. Now the Manta carabiner is 24 grams and has an amazing 24mm opening. Now the benefit of this is it doesn't matter whether or not you're using it with gloves on or if you've got big hands, because it's really easy to use. As a result, it's something that you could use for trad climbing or winter climbing alike. However, what's most likely to raise eyebrows is the Dyneema sling connecting them, which is like nothing I've seen before. Now the outer of this isn't load bearing, it is just there to protect the Dyneema that's on the inside. So whereas with traditional Dyneema slings, when they get fluffy, that's when they're starting to get weakened, these are much stronger and for much longer. Now the additional benefit is that they are incredibly soft. As a result, they pack up neatly inside your backpack, but also it means when you're placing gear, it's less likely for your gear to be dragged up and out of the placements it's in because these are just so soft and supple. And they come in a 12, an 18, a 35 and 55 centimeter length. There is a distinct chance that when you next come to buy a quick draw, you're going to want to buy these just because they look really cool. For Spring Summer 27, Black Diamond have brought back the Vector helmet. Now this sits between the Capitan, which is their more entry-level model, and the Vision, which sits just above. It's got a full polycarbonate shell, and it doesn't have any exposed EPS foam, so it's much more durable. And to add to that durability, they've also increased the thickness of this shelf. Where the old version could look a bit battered and a little bit like a golf ball, this version should be much more robust and resilient. In terms of its usage, it's an absolute all-rounder. You could use it for sport climbing, trad climbing, or mountaineering. It comes in at 195 grams, so whilst it isn't as light as the likes of the Vision or the Vapor, it's still really light, and it comes in at 85 pounds.